In this lesson, we will continue reviewing various ways how we can navigate between project files. So let's start with the following shortcut. Command B. It allows us to navigate to the declaration of a particular symbol. For example, I'd like to quickly jump to the declaration of this interface must verify email. To do this, I firstly have to position the cursor on top of this element and press keyboard shortcut Command B. And as you can see, we have jumped right to the declaration of this interface. Same thing works with traits. Let's quickly jump to the declaration of the trait called hasFactory. I'm gonna position my cursor on top of this trait and press Command B. And here we go. In the same way it works for base classes. Let's quickly jump to the class called Authenticatable. But in this case, Authenticatable isn't really a class name but an alias of the class. So I'm gonna firstly position my cursor on top of the class name, which is user in this case, and then press Command B. So as you can see, by pressing Command B, we can quickly jump to the declaration of the certain element. But besides using keyboard shortcut, we can also do it with the mouse. So firstly we have to press Command and then hover over on a particular element, and then click to navigate to the file where this element is declared. Another useful keyboard shortcut is Command U, and if we'll press this keyboard shortcut while having the cursor on top of some class, we can see a list of all traits and interfaces that this class implements, and we can quickly navigate to any element from this list by pressing Enter. Let's try it out one more time. I'm gonna open up class called controller.php. As we can see, this class inherits from the base controller and also implements a couple of traits. And if I'll press Command U while having the cursor on top of this class, I'll see a list where both of these traits as well as base class are included. Besides that, we can quickly navigate to a particular file where a certain element is declared. For example, I want to quickly jump to the declaration of the base controller. To do so, I'll firstly position my cursor on top of this element and then press Command arrow down. But just because base controller is actually an alias, we have to press this keyboard shortcut while having our cursor on top of the real class name. And this way we're taken to that place where this class is declared. And as you might have guessed, it also works for other elements, such as traits. Let's try it out. I'll press Command arrow down and make sure that I was navigated to the implementation. And here we go, I have navigated to the place where this trait is declared. But what if we, for example, want to quickly see implementation of some element without having to navigate to the file? We can also do this by using keyboard shortcut Option space. And we got such floating window where we can see the source code of the particular element. Same goes with method names. For example, we'd like to quickly see the implementation of some method. For example, hasMany. Let's position the cursor on top of this method and press Option space. Moving on, now we're going to take a look at how we can see all the places where a certain element is referenced. For example, I would like to know where this loadRelationships method is used. And for this, I can run the following command, find usages. And we got this panel at the bottom with a list of all the places where loadRelationships method is currently used. Or we can do this in a slightly different way by executing the command called showUsages. This way we're getting the floating window with a list of all the places where this element is being used. And just like with any other list, we can use arrow down and up to navigate through this list, and press Enter to navigate to a particular place. Let's try to run showUsages command one more time, but this time we'll use keyboard shortcut. As you can see, in my case, it is Option Command F7. Also, we can open up kind of an expanded Find Usages menu, where we can see more commands, including showUsages command that we have just used. And just like with most lists in PhpStorm, they are filterable. We can just start typing and see how the list is narrowed. By the way, there is one feature of PhpStorm which is enabled by default, but I have disabled it. So I'm gonna switch over to the settings and temporarily enable this feature to demonstrate it. I will search for inlay hints and check all these checkboxes. And this way, right next to each method, we can see amount of times this method is being referenced. And there is even more. If we'll click on this label, we're gonna get a list of all the references, from where we can quickly jump to a particular place of usage. And it works not only for methods, but also for classes. Here, as you can see, we get the same label with amount of times this class is being referenced. And just like with methods, I can click on this label to see list of places where this class is being referenced. And that's about it. We have reviewed several additional ways how we can navigate between files. At the end, I'm going to open up settings and uncheck all these options to disable inlay hints. Let's continue in the next lesson.